joining us. Welcome back to my channel. I'm so sorry for the technical difficulties. I was live just a second earlier and I could not pull up the live on my computer because YouTube decided it didn't recognize who I was. So anyway, we're good. I think I'm in. I can get into the chat now. So that's great. That's kind of been stressing me out. I've had a lot going on. We decided that we want to do a live every Friday here on YouTube. I haven't decided on an official time yet. Noon kind of seems to work, but the only problem with noon is that Corey couldn't get here in time to go live with us. I know, I'm not ready yet either. After I get off this live today, I'm going to get some of my shopping done, hopefully. I've just got a few things, you know, like I've got the kids stuff mostly handled. I do have to get things for my mom and my mother-in-law and all those people. My gosh, very stressful. What I'm doing right now is I'm gonna make a discount code just for this live. So one thing we want to do with these lives every week is we want to going so many people to see. It's tough, I'm sorry. Hope you guys get better soon. All right, I just did this morning. I am going to be working on this beautiful cup with you guys, and I'm also going to be making this into a YouTube video, not this live, but I'm making two of these, okay? So one of them I'll be working on for a YouTube video if you want to watch it later, like in more depth and more instruction. And then this one I'm going to just make with you guys kind of on the live here. I already glittered and epoxied this, okay? I'll show you the glitter that I used. Wait, before I get started, what other announcements did I have? We're gonna be going live every Friday. We're gonna be still thinking about what time because Corey he can't make it here until 1:30. And I know you guys, some of you like seeing Corey on the live. I like having him here with me. It's nice to have a little road dog, a sidekick, if you will. A side piece, you know. But anyway, he can't get here till 1:30. So we're gonna have to figure out, you know, what time we're gonna be doing these on Fridays. But thanks, Kelly. So and then what else? I think that's pretty much it. YT Live 15 is gonna be the discount code for this live, and it will expire at the end of the live, okay? Also, our lives are only going to be 1 hour long, and each week we're going to be kind of working on something different, or maybe we're just going to be talking to you guys. But either way, we really want to see you guys once a week. If I haven't been able to upload a video, which I haven't, then I need to be here. We have so much fun together when he's here. We laugh, we have a good time. When it's just me, I mean, we still have fun, but you know, anyway. So last week when we were live, we worked on these fridge magnets. That's how these turned out. Look how beautiful. So I've domed the back with UV resin and I added the magnet off the live, but I did do that in a reel. If you guys follow me on Instagram, I think I uploaded as a short too. And then I put them in a cute little decorative tin to make as a gift. But anyway, that's what we did. It was fun. We also worked on some ornaments that I did not finish off camera because I was so busy. But that's what we did last week. This week, like I said, we're going to be working on this cup with this UV DTF. Okay. So one of my favorite UV DTF sheets. Also, today's a very special day. It's Sissy's birthday. It's Myra Makes It's birthday. So if you know Myra Makes It, she's also on YouTube. She also just happens to be my best friend in the whole wide world. and it's her birthday today, so if you haven't already, please wish her a happy birthday. I am working on something from her pastel, what was this called? The pastel Victorian bundle. This is the UVDTF from that bundle. So cute. I think I cut, no, I didn't cut this out. I cut something from here. This was one of the vinyl sheets. It's very pastel, so you can't see it on camera too well. And then there's another vinyl sheet that comes with that bundle that I've already used on the cup I'm making with it. And then these are the color glitters that come with it. I don't know the names because she didn't put stickers on mine, but these are all available on her website right now, myramakesIt.com, and code JFlynn will save you. So keep an eye out for that cup. I will be making some content with it here soon because it's very, very pretty. It's just taking me some time to finish up. Up here up where I live, we still had power at the warehouse, so we were still able to keep regular business hours and do all that. Anyway, so that's enough for announcements. We're gonna move into our project here. Like I said, we're working on this cup. My idea for it with this UVDTF, which you can find at FlynnSistersSupplyShop.com, I was gonna do some like vertical shiplap. Normally I do like horizontal shiplap like this, but this time I want to try like almost like a old picket fence that's falling apart was my vision. So we'll see if that comes to fruition. I don't know, we'll see. But I already glittered and epoxied the cup. The glitter colors that I'm using are Midnight Sky, Silas, Dolly, and I did use a little bit of Glock, not on this one, but on the other one. You probably can't see those. So Midnight, Silas, and Glock. These are all available at myramakesIt.com. I don't know if she has all of these for sale right now. Sometimes she only has some stuff, but that's that. I also used a little sprinkling of Dreaming of You. It's a really pretty like opally blue color. Okay, so my thought process for creating this vertical shiplap was I would do it kind of similarly to how I would do it horizontal, but the way I placed I don't know if you guys could see it, the way I placed my tape was so that like the bottom and top of what would be like the wood panels is where my tape is, and I just did like different kind of lengths of tape so that when we pull it up, it's gonna kind of create different lengths of wood panels, kind of. Trust the process, okay? So I've already taped off camera and spray painted. Now I did this directly over epoxy, okay? I only did 2 coats of fast cure on this, okay? I think this one I only did 1 coat because I was in a hurry. But we want texture to come through the glitter and epoxy so that you see it through the paint. I don't know if you guys can see it with how bright that lighting is, but this one is like rocky road, okay? I didn't do any kind of sanding. You definitely don't want to do any sanding because if some paint happens to get in there, which it will when we're doing the distressing, it'll get stuck in that sanded epoxy and it won't come out. Well, thank you, Ilka. Thank you for watching. You make such beautiful cups. I don't know that you need any inspiration. All your stuff is always so beautiful. Okay. So let's take off this tape. Also, I did a 3-layer spray paint for this. So I first spray painted with a flat black, just very light coat, just quick dusting of flat black. Then I did a quick coat of matte navy. Okay, just quick spray paint. Then I did a thick coat of flat white, okay? Letting each layer dry in between. And it's really important that you take your time shaking your paints, letting each layer dry, because when we go to do the distressing, if we had an excess of ketones or things didn't dry too fast, this could get ugly really quick, okay? Hey, thank you, welcome. I know, I miss my FSX family. Thank you, Christina. Praise God. Thank you. Praise God. I feel better than I talked about this last week too. I feel better than I've ever felt in my life. I am in a great place mentally. I am proud of myself. I've been keeping my weight down since February 2 years ago. Been on that whole journey. This morning, Corey and I got a good workout in. We did a little butt workout. Him and I felt great. It's the first time I worked out, I think, in like a week and a half. Let's draw our lines. So for that, I'm gonna get my architect ruler and a pencil. I'm good. All right. So I'm gonna use a pencil. It's important that you use a pencil for this step because it's gonna be the most convincing for what we're trying to do here. So I'm gonna draw the lines with pencil between these slats here, okay? And then where my ruler doesn't reach, oh, I forgot to tell you. So this architect ruler here, you can get one of these on Amazon, just search architect ruler. It's got this handy little divot in it, so when you go, it's gonna stick straight nice on the cup, and that's gonna help you make a nice straight line. Hi, Sassy, welcome. What is that you need to get, or where do you start? So if you're new and you don't know where to start, I've got a lot of beginner videos that will help you go over all the different equipment and stuff you need to get started, because there is a lot. It's a long list of things. The biggest thing that you want to shop for is probably going to be like your cup turner. So looking for a good cup turner. Some folks in the chat could drop where they get their favorite cup turners from. I like MH turners. The Bowen is who I use, but they're no longer in business. You're also going to need epoxy. You can find that at flintssisterssupplyshop.com. And you could save with 15% with code YTLive15 during this live. What else are you going to need? You're going to need all kinds of stuff. It's a lot. It's too much for me to probably go over verbally in this live, but if you search my channel on our beginner tumbler making playlist, there's one video that tells you literally every single thing you're gonna need from start to finish, how you're gonna get started, all of the basic beginner equipment that I recommend. Dino's is good. Tumbler grips, yep. Thank you, Sassy. Between these slats. I know it looks crazy now, okay? I know. Just stay with me. Stick with me. Also, I'm recognizing now that not all these lines are going to be perfectly straight, so you don't really need fancy ruler, I guess. You could also use some masking tape and line your tape up to draw your line if that helps. Doesn't have to be perfect because we're gonna mess with this later. It's a trust the process. You do. You have to buy a lot of stuff to start. them on Amazon for the turners, right? Ah, yes. Okay. You can purchase them on Amazon for the turners. I've been looking around. Yeah. So if you're buying Turner stuff on Amazon, I really recommend these. I have some Turner stuff in my Amazon storefront. These are great. These are probably my favorite Amazon find for cup chucks because they're so easy to use. They're super versatile. I have one in here. See? And then these just, no matter what kind of cup arms you have, because I have MH cup arms too. So these cup arms are different. I got these from a different company. See, these are Bowen. This one's no longer in business. This one is, okay? And you just throw these on. And they're cheap. You can buy a whole bunch of them, and I love them. They're super cheap. I think you get a whole pack for $7.99 or something like that. Can't beat it. Yeah, I don't know. There's a Tumbler community still alive and well. I don't know. I'm here. You know, I love Flynn Sisters community. We've been here for Flynn Sisters community, I don't know, 5 years, 7. I've been doing this for 7, 8-ish years, I think. Flynn Sisters community, I think we started that in 2020. We're still here. I'm not going anywhere. Five years going. Hey Jovita, good to see you. Going good. Happy Friday. All right. So I got all those lines made. For those of you who are just joining us, we're going to be doing kind of a vertical style shiplap. Normally I do like a horizontal. I was going to run vertical, kind of like an old piece of picket fence or something. And then we're going to use this UVDTF sheet that you can find at FlynnSistersSupplyShop.com. The code for this live, you guys, is YTLive15. YTLive15 saves you 15%. Oh, thank you. I'm happy you got me live too. Welcome, welcome. I had so much fun with you guys last week. I was like, you know, we got to make this a regular thing. Why not? Let's do it. So then I thought, well, what if we like work on projects that are also going to be YouTube videos, you know? So like, I'm going to make 2 at a time. One I'm going to be working on for the video, and then one I'm going to work on with you guys. Next week, we're going to work on a cool project with the Fun Guy Sister set. So if you guys have the Fun Guy Sister set or you've seen it and you don't know what to do with it, I've got a fun project for this. So this looks pretty basic now, but I'm also going to add some drips, but I've got a fun idea for the drips. I was going to do something kind of different that I've never tried before. So I was going to do some like planning behind the scenes and test it and see if my idea will work, and then we'll find out if it did on Friday next week. Actually, I don't think I'll be live next week because next week's Christmas, so a week after that probably. Thank you. Sublimation snow globe tumblers, those are fun. I am really bad at sublimation and snow globe stuff. I cannot do snow globes to save my life. I've done a few, they've turned out okay, but I'm just not my strong suit, you know? I'm trying to get the epoxy off of this cup chuck so I could show it to you guys. but I was really sloppy with my epoxy. I got stuck. There it is. Okay. Apparently I have 2 cup chucks in here for some reason. Okay, so this one I got from Destiny Dream Labs, and if you, doesn't matter what kind of cup arms you have, you can just slide these on and then they screw down. I don't know why I put tape in there. But they will only work with cups that have like the threading. I think you could do it without on some of them, like the 20 and 30 ounce skinnies. You could do it without threading, but these bigger ones, I don't know about. But that just screws right into there. And there's, of course, different sizes for different ones. And then that slides into there. Oh yeah, the Halloween one. That was pretty good. I haven't tried snow globe ornaments. Ooh, that sounds, do you put liquid in them? That sounds like fun. Are they heavy? I'm wondering about that. I'm curious about that now. Okay, so now that I did those lines with my pencil, I'm gonna start doing some distressing. I'm not gonna use acetone right now, number 1, because I don't have any. And number 2, I don't have an acetone dispenser thing either. Mine finally rotted away and I have to buy a new one. But also, I'm not going to really be removing too much paint here, so that's probably a good thing that we don't have it. I'm using 91% rubbing alcohol though, and then we're just going to be rubbing at the edges. Excuse me, we're going to be rubbing at the edges with a rag to reveal some of that texture, number 1, and number 2, the 2 different paint colors that I painted underneath. Now underneath I painted navy blue and black. We did 1 layer. Oh, I see. I was wondering about that. Use it all year round. Oh, you're sweet. Thank you. Okay, so we did first a very light spraying of flat black, then we did a very light spraying of flat navy blue, then we did a very generous spraying, some would say 2 coats of flat white, then we're here. And I'm using 91% rubbing alcohol and a rag. And you're just gonna put some elbow grease in here. Normally I'd have some acetone, but we don't want to remove too much. Okay, just enough to create this really cool. See, I don't know if you could see that effect at the ends of our wood pieces. This is also trust the process because we're gonna add more paint to it after this too, so it doesn't look so like, hey, I just drew these dark lines in a white box. It'll look good, trust me. We're not there yet. It's Myra's birthday today, yes. It's her 25th birthday. Please be sure to wish her happy birthday today. The love of my life, my best friend. Look at this beautiful picture of us. This was us at the Wax Museum when we went to Tennessee. It was one of my favorite pictures of us. I miss her so much. She's having a very nice birthday weekend. I wish I could be there to celebrate with her, but it's just, the cookie didn't crumble that way. Hi, Erin. Oh my gosh, good to see you. Hi, friend. Happy Friday. Welcome. How are ya? I like how that one's turning out. So cool. It's my favorite thing to do. Rose. Oh. Thank you, Jovita. You inspire me. Oh my gosh, those earrings you made recently with the fur. So beautiful. So beautiful. Those are stunning. I wish I could wear something like that. I feel like that I don't have the guts to be that bold. So I was like, ooh, those are cute. Maybe I'll wear those out for New Year's. Hi, Ash. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Happy Friday. We're working on some shiplap. If you're just joining us, I was doing some vertical shiplap. I wanted this to look kind of like slats of wood this way instead of this way. So like I've done a tutorial on this a million times, right? Where you go like that. But I wanted to try this one like this because I thought it would look really pretty with his UV-DTF sheet and kind of have a really rustic shiplap look. Oh, so right now, Erin, we're only using rubbing alcohol. Okay, I'm only using 91% rubbing alcohol on this. Normally, I would have acetone with me, but I don't have any right now. But you're right. If I was working with acetone, I would have a bunch of holes through my gloves. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll double up, okay? The other thing is, I used to have gloves that were thicker, it was a special kind of rubber that was acetone resistant. So you can get acetone resistant chemical gloves that resist like solvents and ketones and things. You could use that. That's the safest route. That's what my husband would prefer for me to do. But for now, I'm just using 91% rubbing alcohol, so this will do. Yep. I was strongly considering, I might, if Corey's still on the chat, write this down, babe. Maybe I'll write it myself down. When we first opened the supply shop, one thing we wanted to do was provide PPE, because I was super passionate about people using epoxy safely, because it doesn't do me any good, or the industry at all for that matter, any good if people are not using epoxy safely, because if they can't use it safely, they can't use it for very long, and then they can't buy it anymore. I can't make pretty resin crafts anymore because they've developed this allergy or an intolerance. So anyway, we really wanted to offer PPE, like different kinds of gloves, different kinds of masks. And I might still look into that now, actually. I did use 3 coats of spray paint. Thank you for asking. So what we did on this one, it's some kind of dingleberry of something on there. What the heck that was. So what we did was we did a coat of black, okay, just a flat black. Then I did flat navy, then 2 coats of flat white on the top, okay? And it's important that we use flat or matte if you can for all the steps, because it has less, I don't know what, has less of the stuff in it that makes this look messy later. So I feel like I get a better, whatchamacallit, finish that way. So anyway, once we're done screwing around with this, you would epoxy over it. Just a nice thin coat would be fine. Just enough to smooth everything out enough and to protect it, to put on the UV DTF. You could live life dangerously like I do sometimes, and you could just put it right over the top of the paint. Bumps and everything. But you really risk a lot doing that. You could easily screw it up. You could easily crack your UV DTF. So take your time. Don't put it directly over the paint unless you are really in a hurry and you really want to push yourself, okay? I've done it plenty of times. I've regretted it plenty of times. You know how it is though. You know, when you're busy and you're trying to keep up with the world. But anyway, here's a question for the chat. If there was a soundtrack playing to your life this week, what would it be? What would the soundtrack be playing to your life this week? If you're like me, you always got some kind of music playing in your head or a song you can't get out of your head that you just keep singing or keeps popping up on the radio. For me, I feel like my soundtrack for the week is, you know, the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, and they're like, dun, 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 dun. It's like very intense, aggressive Christmas music. That's the soundtrack to my life this week. Bum, 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 bum. Just rushing to every next thing and 70s rock, I love that. Smooth rock or classic rock? Oh, the holidays are a hard time for a lot of people. You know, I hope things look up. So right now, all I'm doing is I'm pretty much done with this. I'm just kind of going around and adding like additional details. I like to stick my thumbnail really deep into that towel to kind of put on a more focused like line there. Actually romantic. That's a good one. I really want to see Trans-Siberian art. Classic rock. I love it. I have a great classic rock playlist. I'm a huge fan. Trans-Siberian Orchestra live would be, gosh, a dream. I gotta go. Pink Floyd, Eagles. Yep. I love the Eagles. Like Pink Floyd too. I love yacht rock, like classic, like smooth classic rock, like Hall & Oates or something, you know? Just something that kind of chills me out. I like to feel like I'm in a dentist office waiting room sometimes. A little river band. Okay, I really like how this turned out. So then, like I said, we're gonna put epoxy on this and I can start adding in my decals. I think for the front, I was gonna put, maybe I'll put that Amazing Grace. I'm gonna put the Amazing Grace somewhere where it's legible with this. And then maybe on the back, we just put some flowers in there. I'll decide later once I epoxy it and see. So maybe next week I'll show you guys how I finished up that. You'll also probably see it on a reel, plus a YouTube channel or YouTube video. And like I said, our next live, we're gonna be working on this little guy. I know it looks simple now. We're gonna be adding some really cool drips with a new technique that I'm gonna be working on between now and then. We'll see how it turns out. I'm really excited about this cup. I think it's gonna be cute. The colors that we used are here, so you can kind of get an idea of what the base cut of the cup looked like before we did our painting. And we used Midnight Sky, Silas, Dolly, Glock, and Dreaming of You, all from MyraMakesIt.com. Here, so you can kind of see what those colors look like. So you got some midnight navy blue, some kind of gunmetal, pretty teal, and this like opaly blue. Carol of the Bells, y'all. I love it. It's haunting. I love a good haunting Christmas carol. Oh, this has been fun. I enjoy it. Thank you for joining me. I'm sorry I was a little bit late today. I had planned on going live at noon, but I didn't get on until 12:15. But, you know, anyways, we will do, oh, gosh, I forgot. What the heck? Jessica. I got this new drying machine. Did I remember the other piece to it? No, I didn't. This is why I need Corey here. See, we are gonna have the live at a time when we can have Corey here so he can run and grab things for me when I need him. Because I'm afraid to get up off the live and walk away from you guys. Okay, this is their new drying machine. It's called the G3. I have whatever their other one was. And this one's really cool because it has a UV light built into it. So you can see the UV light node things there. Corey keeps me on track. He does. How many coats of epoxy did I put on? I'm sorry, I did 2 coats before we did the painting. And actually this was just 1 coat of epoxy on here. We want to leave some kind of texture through the glitter so that when we remove the paint, can you see that kind of cool effect that we got? So this was with 1 coat. This cup I did do 2 coats because I was afraid I wouldn't get enough coverage with the first. This is my new Fast Cure epoxy. I coated this morning at 9:15ish. But it looks beautiful. I'm really happy with this epoxy. I hope you guys have been really happy with this epoxy. Okay, this drying machine, it's got 2 different options for how you can put stuff in. You can go like this and have it really close to the top. I don't know if you can see how that's really close. Or you can have it like this, flip that tray over, and you have more room. The other thing that they sent me is a silicone extender. So the extender takes this up even more by about 4 inches, so you have even more space. What this is practical for is molds. Obviously, we're gonna put a whole cup in there, okay? So this is practical for molds. If you're making stuff like this, where you're gonna have to do some doming, maybe with some UV resin after it cures, you can do the doming and add the magnets with the UV resin light and everything all from the same machine because this has the UV curing on it. So you just turn it on and then you tell it how long. It's got all these little controls here. I don't know if you guys can see the UV light going. I haven't tested the UV light yet, but I'm excited to test that. I might do a full review on the channel. And then this blows hot air in here. That's gonna help cure your stuff faster. Oh, turn that off. The other one that I have from them is this box. So this box I use a lot because I'm always late. I'm always running short on time. So I do use this a lot. What I like this one for is I could fit a whole cup in here to dry. I could do this way with the turner. It has this little thing on the back that just sticks on, and it's got slats so you could finagle it to fit your turner through there or whatever it is that you have to do. Obviously you could do molds in this one too, but yeah, and then you just press the button, it gets it all warm in here, everything dries super fast. I've tested it with both my epoxy formulas, that machine, and it's fine. I will say that sorry, I wanted to make sure I wasn't missing anything. Okay, so I will say that with drying machines, if you're forcing the epoxy to dry really quickly and that epoxy hasn't fully bonded well, or it can't fully bond well to the surface you've applied it to, when you put it in the drying machine, everything's going to constrict and retract really fast, and it can pull away from the edges of your pieces, or it could even repel because it's drying really fast. So you do have to make sure that if you're going to be using this with fast curing epoxies, that you have them applied to chemically bond, either a chemical or a mechanically bonded surface. So for example, you're going to put a final coat on this and you're going to sand it first, you're going to clean it, then you're going to put Artist Cure on there. The Artist Cure is going to stick because we sanded it first. There's a mechanical bond, okay? If it was less than 24 hours from the last coat, then I could coat again without sanding because then I'll get a chemical bond, okay? But either way, I hope you understand what I'm trying to say with that. When you're using my epoxies with these things, okay? Also be aware that when you're accelerating the dry time, you're taking away from the epoxy doing what it wants to do. So releasing all the bubbles, self-leveling, exothermic reactions, bonding to the surface, all that stuff that it's trying to do at the party. If you're accelerating it, sometimes all those things don't have time to do what they need to do. So just be aware of that, okay? Usually what I do, like if I'm in a pinch, if I'm using Fast Cure, I won't coat this and then throw it directly in one of those. I'll coat with my Fast Cure for about an hour in my regular drying cabinet, and then I'll finish the drying in here, okay? It just turns out better that way. Same thing with Artist Cure. I don't like to do all of the drying in here. I just do the end part of it. With molds, it doesn't really matter. I just put the molds in there willy-nilly. They come out great. So that's cool. Resiners. So this is from the company Resiners. They send me a lot of stuff. Full disclosure, okay? They did send this to me for free to try. They sent this to me for free to try. I am an affiliate of theirs. You could use my code FLIN10 to save. But I do use this a lot. You can see it's all messy inside there. This is a great product if you're short on time, okay? I wouldn't use it every time, all the time, anything like that. If I've got spray paint that I need to dry really quick, I put my cup on one of these things with the spray paint, and then I just put it in there and it dries the spray paint lickety fast, super fast. Same thing with acrylic paint, helps with that. So it just saves me time. This is cute. I don't know that I would buy both, but this is cool for molds. And again, it has the UV light in it, so you could do everything all from one. You know, I feel like this one is more well built than this. They probably learned a thing or two between those two, but I like it. So there's that. Regarding the new facet formula, do we still have a... You know, with the new Fast Cure formula, you probably have around the same time. I would say maybe a little bit less because it's thinner and depending on how long you mixed it for. But I've noticed it's a little bit less. It was 30 to 45 minutes before. It's kind of closer to like 20 to 35. And it's thinner, so there's that. All right, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up. Any other questions before I get going? Thank you, Victoria. Yeah, I would just do, you know, it's tough to say. I can't give you a definitive answer because I don't know what the temperature of your workspace is, but I would maybe like, you know, do a smaller section than what you're used to. You know, if you normally do with my old fast set, like this whole big section, maybe just do half of that for the first round with the new formula so you can kind of see what your work time is. That might help. Yes, thank you, Jenna. That's my favorite part about it. So a lot of people kind of have struggled with that, especially since thinner epoxies, like if you're used to working with Alumilite, and you notice that, because that's a real thin viscosity formula, if you over mix it or you use heat, it gets super thin and super hot really fast. So you want to make sure that you don't use any heat with this. You don't have to preheat the part A like you used to with my old stuff. And just mix low and slow and you're good. You don't have to sing in a song and dance to get it to work well. But yeah, it is thin. So some people like that, some people don't. What I like is that you can go over really dark colors and not have to fight with micro bubbles anymore. You might have to do a little bit more coats, but you're not gonna have to do the rework or strip down a cup or destroy a whole project because you got a whole coat riddled with micro bubbles, or your coat dried and there's an oily haze on it, and what do I do now? And then that ruined the finish and it didn't turn out perfect. So I understand that doing more thinner coats is a little bit more frustrating, but it's kind of a give or take, because with thicker coats you always run the risk of those bubbles getting trapped in there. Once it's there, you can't get it out. You know, so we were trying to circumvent that problem that people were having by thinning out the viscosity, especially with the fast set. So I hope it helps. I love it. It does have more of a scent. There is less of a scent blocker in this epoxy than there was in my old stuff. I don't know if it smells pretty. I'm not a fan of it. I don't like the smell, but I work in a well-ventilated area. You know, I work in my garage, so I can't smell it in my house. But yeah, it does have a little bit of a smell. Obviously not when it's cured. There should be no smell when it's cured. But, yep. Okay, I gotta wrap it up, guys. I'm very hungry. I know I said that 5 minutes ago, but I love you. Thank you for joining me on the live. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. I will see you guys, I think next Friday, same place, same time. I don't see why not. It's the day after Christmas. I'm just gonna be home having fun. Maybe we'll do some fun little projects. I did say that we were gonna pull out the Fun Guy Sister set and do a fun project with that. So join us then. Have a great Christmas. Happy holiday. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We probably won't have an end of the year sale. That was what we had for Black Friday. But if you join us on the live next Friday, we're gonna have live only codes. So like this week was YT Live 15, saves you 15% off. So YT Live 15 is gonna expire probably an hour after the live. But next week we'll have a new unique code. Maybe we'll do 20%. I don't know. We'll do something fun. Because it's Christmas, right? So, all right, you guys, have a good one. Have a great weekend.